The views expressed on the Convo Lounge do not reflect the views of our current employers or our future employers.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Convo Lounge with your hosts, Amir Anthony, Char Rochelle, and your boy, Antonio Crow. What's going on, Convo Lounge? How we doing today?
Happy to be alive. Happy to be healthy and alive. Happy to see another year. Still Scorpio season.
Uh-oh. Scorpio season showing the shoulder today.
Y'all can still contribute to Char's Cash App too if you want to. Bless her.
Yes, I will be celebrating for the next year.
Hey. I like that because it's nothing but celebrations now. I mean, relatively.
Yeah.
Right?
No doubt. I'm doing well. Can't complain. Blessed. Glad to be with you guys, and let's get it going. How you doing, brother Antonio?
Oh, I'm good. Been challenged with some friends of mine that have been going through a storm, and just trying to keep them lifted in prayer.
Right.
And staying positive on all sides of the situation.
That's right.
Did we want to start with the question of the day, y'all?
Of course.
All right. So here we go. Do y'all feel that men should vent to their women?
Of course. I mean, if your partner is your partner in life, then why would you vent to anybody else? I know for me, whoever I, spend the rest of my life with, I want that person to be a safe space and a best friend. And I want to be somebody that he can be vulnerable enough to vent to me about anything, even if it's about me.
I receive that, but most men are less likely to be open, conversational, a little guarded, and sometimes women are guarded and don't necessarily receive what men have to say, even in a relationship.
Well, that's because those types of people lack emotional intelligence, which is a whole other spectrum. So make sure that you're tapped in emotionally intelligently, and you can articulate your emotions so that when that time does come and you do have to express something to your partner, you have the words to do so instead of just shutting down. Shutting down is toxic.
True.
I think you should be able to, man. I think it opens up the door for conversation. You don't want things to weigh heavy because that can lead on to other complications in the relationship. And also not allow third parties to get involved. So I think if you keep that between you and your partner and keep it in house, I feel like it's important to do so. I think as men, we are always reluctant to express ourselves to our women, and we feel like it's putting us in a stage of vulnerability or weakness, but it really isn't. It's actually you come out stronger, and the relationship comes out stronger. So I definitely think that, especially with everything going on right now, who wants to be cooped up in a relationship in a pandemic and you're just keeping things, with the wall between you guys? That's not healthy. It's unhealthy, and I think it does require, something. So to all those in a relationship right now, but I encourage that you allow conversations to take place, and as men, that you open up to your woman if there's certain problems, and don't be petty about it though.
Right. I mean, if it's a relationship, just like any other relationship, iron should sharpen iron. So I wouldn't want to be with anyone who doesn't feel comfortable enough to bring his vulnerabilities to me. Because vulnerability is a strength, especially coming from a man. So let's dead the whole conversation that that vulnerability is a sign of weakness, it's strength. So I would encourage my partner or anybody to go to their partner, because at the end of the day, iron sharpens iron, and you should only want the best for your mate. So
Right. So personally, I'm a talker, so I'll probably do a lot of talking and probably show the most transparency. But the argument is, or the I guess the petty part is that that's what the side chick is for the confessions.
Good old Antonio for the
Convo
curveball, yo. Come on.
We don't approve that message from Antonio.
Oh, I'm sorry. Men don't cheat.
Right.
Men don't cheat. Boys do,
Right.
but men don't cheat. Ain't no side chicks.
I don't know what that is, bro. That's not in my vocabulary.
Hey.
Wow. So that's a good question. So why are men more comfortable with their side chicks than with their actual partner?
Crazy question, right?
I think that it's a fantasy type thing. It's where you are allowing yourselves to be a part of you that you're not. And you're allowing yourself to be like this fantasy of not as a man, and you can convey messages in a different manner with this side chick, because that's what they are, right? They're on the side, they're on the bench, and you bring them off the bench when you need to. So you have specific plays that you draw up, a little sports analogy, where you have your starting five, you feel me? Your main, you got that, there's a flow. But when you have one coming off the bench, you have a designated spot for them. You have a designated spot for them where it's like, okay, I got the side chick that does X, Y, Z. I got this side chick that does ... So it's like, as men that engage in that type of activity, is very calculated, So that's how I would define what side chicks and what the conversations. It's not a one-way deal. It's definitely options, That's how I look at it.
Well, that's why you find a well-rounded woman who can be both your wife, your partner, your best friend, your side chick, and your biggest fan.
Yeah, I'm all for that, and I'm not debating anything that's in your minds, but from what I have seen, with long-term relationships and men who have other women, which we've never talked about why they've had other women, but from what I gather in the street is basically it's about them, and it's very selfish, unfortunately. But we don't really know what's really going on. It's up to us to make that decision individually, right?
Yes, or have the conversation. Like perhaps if it's an open relationship and y'all are both open to having extra partners in your situation, there's non-monogamy is now a huge thing. So have a conversation about opening up your relationship.
Right.
That's real talk. That's real talk.
It's all about the conversation.
Well, yeah. So let's go ahead and tap into something we got a few things that we want to bring out there to the fellow loungers. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion that debuted. Did y'all have a chance to check that out?
I haven't checked it out yet. I was supposed to check it out last night after our meeting, but I got caught up in rewatching Queen and Slim. If y'all haven't seen it, it's now on HBO. Please check it out. Shout out to Lena Waithe. So sorry to take away from the Fresh Prince, but that's why I didn't end up watching it.
Lena Waithe is right now, but yeah, the Fresh Prince reunion. For those that checked it out, it was interesting. It wasn't what I expected. It was good to see that the cast members all look well. But some of them have kind of like faded out of the limelight, and they're kind of doing independent things. I mean, Will Smith is very active still. Alfonso Rivero is still active still. Tatiana Lee is still active. But to see, I believe his name is Ross Begley that played Jeffrey, and and Karen Parsons who played Hillary. It was good to see them. But the highlight was seeing the two Aunt Vivs and seeing the OG Aunt Viv. Go back to a few episodes we did. We talked about it in our colorism episode and the importance of it and the impact. And you see the impact of Janet Hubert, who played Aunt Viv in the first 3 seasons, the impact that had on social media. And I remember, we talked about how big of it would have been if that would have happened in today's social media driven world that we live in, what that impact would have been like for Will Smith and his career. Because Will basically left her hanging to dry. And she asked him straight up, like, why? It literally looked like red table talk between them two. that last little bit of what was left in that reunion, they had a chance to go backstage one-on-one, and that was her first time visiting the set since she was let go of the show. And she was like, when you did what you did, Will, you left me hanging to dry, and I was blackballed in Hollywood. And as a black actress of color and a specific color, it was damaging to my career. She was going through a pregnancy. She was going through troubles in her marriage. And when the producers and creators of the show wanted her to take a back seat, she was like, no, I'm not doing that. And it had a tremendous effect on her acting career. She was never the same. And she straight up asked Will, why? Why did you do it? It was like straight up like red table talk. Like, I was like, dang.
So was he a producer? I'm sorry, go ahead, Antonio.
No. Say your question.
No, so like why was it his show? Like, was he a producer? Did he have authority enough to like?
He had enough power on the show. Well,
it was his influence.
Right. It was Benny Medina, who was the creator of the show. It was loosely based on him, who grew up in Watts. Benny Medina is currently in the music industry. He's a manager of Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo. But it was a Quincy Jones party, and Benny Medina, who was already in the industry already, presented an idea to Quincy Jones. And I believe Benny Medina went to the same school, Bel-Air, as Quincy Jones's daughters. And he presented this idea, and Quincy had Will in mind, and he had Will do an audition at a Quincy party where all these different people. So Will did have some power because he at that time was the guy in the 90s. And what's funny is that the lady who ended up playing Aunt Viv after, I think Maxine Reed.
Daphne.
She was originally given the opportunity to be on the show, but she was like, no, because it was a rapper. She was like, I don't see that. I'm not feeling it. Because at the time, the type of actor that she was. So yeah, it was interesting to see that dynamic, and hopefully it was good to see that closure, but it really was like a red table talk moment. I was like, wow, like she really hit him.
So what you saying, Amir, you just brought out some new ideas for me. But for Janet, she really went into her sentiments of being blackballed, and
right,
as a dark skinned woman. So I'm gonna stop there, but I'm gonna go back. So Daphne, I didn't know that she was first offered this position as Aunt Viv, the role of Aunt Viv. But when you look at it, in the culture of acting, they surround rappers because they have the fame around good thespians, right? So that would have been the perfect environment for Will to build. So Janet, perhaps her chops, she had been in the industry for 10 years or whatever. And so Will Smith had no chops. All he had was a vibe, right? All he had was a vibe. And so they were getting into it before she even left, which were the rumor reports. So as a result of it, she was not fired. And I didn't know that at first. So she was officially not fired. She decided to leave because the money didn't make sense due to her situation. I think that is very sad. But I really feel like she should have had other opportunities. So I don't see why it was a definite blackball. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just really don't see that part. And it could be just that she wasn't offered, or she just didn't have interest also.
I think that had something. I think Will could have helped her out. I think if he could have, he said it. He left her hang to dry. He was young. He was 21 years old. All that fame and power. And, it was his show. Like, after season 2, we knew that The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was a hit, period. I mean, they talked about it. The show was so powerful, it was beating Monday Night Football in the ratings. That's how powerful the show was. And Monday Night Football wins,
Okay. And that's true. It was powerful for the Black community, but the ratings and right, what you're saying about football, but as it progressed, it fell off. Like, it didn't last but like 2 seasons, right?
The show ran for 6 seasons, and I believe by like season 4 we kind of knew, like, okay, because I mean, Will, he was 20 years old playing a high school kid, and then he ended up, going, it went a different direction, but it was still a good hit, especially in syndication. But, when you're on a hit show like that and people in Hollywood talk, and she there was probably a blackball situation for her being a black actress at that time in Hollywood. And, it was good to see that closure. It was definitely good, but yeah.
Yeah, they hugged. They said sorry.
Puts her in a movie or something.
She could have. If they had a massaging relationship, there's plenty of roles that she could have played alongside Will and throughout the years, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Look how many, and I don't really want to make it a color issue, but it seems that it is for dark-skinned actress, but there are many dark-skinned actresses, not a whole bunch, but we can list at least 5 top dark-skinned actresses that have been able to make it.
I think we can only list 5, and that's
right.
it. Like there's not a whole lot of dark-skinned actresses.
There's a few that come to mind right off the top, but I think that the timing of it, because it was at the time in the early 90s, it was detrimental to her career. If it would have happened now, it probably would have been more petition to help her in her career. And I think that's what really was the issue. And she made it very clear, like the way she, I'm telling you, the way she looked at him when she said, "I have a question to ask you, why?" It was a pause. And I was like, damn. It was real. It was real. I'm not gonna lie, because as a fan of the show, still a fan of the show, I enjoyed the power that she brought, because her character and James Avery's character, Uncle Phil, rest in power, they were the true actors. And they even talked about how James Avery's character, what it meant to the definition of the show. But it was good to see some of the insights. Jazzy Jeff made an appearance, and they talked about, there was 2 things, and I know, Antonio, you brought it up before. Will knew the lines of every character, and if you watch early episodes, he's like mouthing the lines.
Yeah.
And Karen Parson, who played Hillary, used to say it got on her nerves during audition, during the when they would rehearse. And then Jazzy Jeff, if you go back, he said that him getting thrown out of the house was a gag that they ended up doing more and more. But he said, if you see me wearing that dashiki shirt, that means I was going to get thrown out. Because if you notice, every time he got thrown out, he wore that shirt. So I was like, I always knew that was it. Because I started rolling when he said that. So yeah, shout out.
And what's deep about it, that he would recite the lines, is because he was new at acting. And it probably was very intimidating for him to be with 2, top tier caliber actors as his aunt and his uncle. And, it was probably very challenging. He had a lot on the line for his life. If you will, at that moment, if he wanted to maintain. But look how he's progressed. But I just want to say this. Now that Janet Hubert has come, she's spoken, we got to see how she looks now. She's very beautiful. I'm sure she still has all her acting chops. I need to see her back behind the camera again. You know what I'm saying? I need to see that again, because I don't think her skills. So Tyler Perry, holler at her, bro. Like whoever's doing stuff, Spike Lee, holler at her. And then the other thing is that what she really didn't like is that Will Smith said that she was difficult to deal with. So as a dark-skinned Black woman in Hollywood, being known as a difficult person to deal with, that was the rumor. Now let me go into hip hop. Like in the music industry, if you was whack, nobody fuck with you in the 90s. Like, oh, he's whack. Like, we don't fuck with him, he's whack. But if you say difficult in Hollywood, then everyone's gonna have this preconceived thought of you when you show up even to an audition. Even if you nail the part, if they think that you a prima donna or what they call a diva or a devo, you know what I'm saying? You really putting yourself in a casket. So we need to redirect that energy somehow to set, to give her another edge at this stage of her life, because she can still do so much.
No doubt.
So true. Like all the mom roles, the auntie roles. I'm trying to think of Loretta Devine, who's always somebody's mama or auntie.
That's Antonio.
Right.
Like,
Now, she's difficult. That lady.
That's Antonio's homegirl.
oh, my bad. My bad.
No, she's good. She's good. I love her acting. And that's why I approached her, because I was like, wow, like I really want to give you, a compliment, whatever. She's like, boy, I'm not working today. Oh, look at me. What's wrong with you? I was like, damn.
That's a good. I like that. That was good. Well, right there. She got that.
No shot against her. She does a phenomenal job at what she does. Like, she does give you the mom vibes of like, let me just lay in your bosom and be comforted. So she's great. But I would like to see a range of moms and aunties instead of her getting every single role.
Even the attorney role, like when our sisters play attorneys on television and judges and all the professional careers that are to be casted, that's awesome. And that is a representation of who we are in real life. You know what I'm saying? We just like mom and an auntie. So let's get it cracking with that.
Yeah, Shonda Rhimes hit up on Viv. Like Shonda will give a Black woman a huge breakthrough role. So I would love to see them collaborating together.
I'm pretty sure there's some kind of petition. Remember how they what's the name? The dude that played Alvin on the Cosby Show, he was working at Trader Joe's and they petitioned him and he ended up getting the opportunity. He was like, you got to be a diehard Cosby fan to know who Alvin was. He wasn't even like a main character. So opportunities, you feel me?
Yeah.
He was Sandra's boyfriend. That was it. What was his name on the show?
Sandra's husband on the show, Alvin.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And he got a job, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm pretty sure there will be some opportunities knocking on the door. But anyway, the big question hovering around the United States and the globe right now is who's the president?
Question.
Me.
45.
The president.
Is what's the deal? Like Char president. Hey, if you president, I better have a high cabinet seat in your administration.
I got you. At this point, the Bayang is a president because I don't know. Yo, okay, so we're recording this, of course, after the election. Joe Biden is clearly president-elect. He's been declared president-elect. And 45 is acting like the nigga who put in his 2 weeks notice and is just like, y'all can't fire me, so I ain't gonna do nothing. Like, we have not seen him. We have not. Is he still working? Like, is he still doing his job? What is happening right now?
He's on Twitter, but that's funny you said that. He's that person that, like not even that you've been fired, but his box is still on the desk and he still has access to all of the like administrative passwords. And he's still, and it's like, we can't get rid of him because we're in a pandemic.
Right.
And
it's like,
the last episode, I was hoping that we all would accept, no matter what happens, just have this level of understanding. There's 100% not that on one side, and the other side is like ready to just like let's move forward. And this is like a continued divide in our country, and it's like unbelievable.
It's sad, and the thing is that I'm just tripping off of it because recently they just announced that Georgia, like all of the votes have been like finally counted, and it was a landslide. Like Biden won Georgia. He won all of the key states that were necessary, that were recently red. So shout out to Arizona, shout out to Nevada, shout out to Georgia, and the representation of the minority vote, primarily Black women.
Shout out to Stacey Abrams.
Keisha
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania came through. Shout out to all of those that were at the grassroots level pushing it, and they're out. And it's just all things bad have happened to the Trump administration, even like within his own family. It just got announced yesterday that Donald Trump Jr. got COVID now. So it's just like, hey, y'all got to get up out of there. But it'll be interesting to see when he concedes, because he's gonna have to do it, and we will be inaugurating a new president come January. and history once again is going to be made. And I hope that for me as a former college student, I hope that that's the focus is, student loan debt, and also focusing on opportunities for minorities and other people of color to get a piece of the American dream, to have opportunities for home ownership, and I hope
Black people specifically, because I feel like a lot of immigrants come over and they do get the American dream, even more so than us who were brought here via slavery. So specifically for African Americans in this country, we need more land, home ownership, entrepreneurship. Sorry, not to cut you off, but like,
that's exact. I mean, listen, I mean, you were transparent. You opened up more on what I, talked about, but no, it's true. I mean, economic power is something that Black people have been fighting for a long time. So to your point, Char, what needs to happen is we need to have control of the House and the Senate and push those bills that need to be applied for us to thrive. So it's a lot.
Let me just add this as a caveat. I can never say that word, but anyway,
you said it right.
Okay. Black people, we need more unity as well.
Yeah.
Because we are American, and the American is an individualistic society, right? So most of the people that come from other countries are collective, and because they're collective, they do collective things that the American Black people won't do, will never do. So let us be in mind that our unity is just as important as our independence. You know what I'm saying? And
that's a word.
And our economic power. So let's just think about that too, moving forward.
That's a word. We need to put that on the shirt.
Right.
Well,
that's true. That's true. That's true.
No doubt.
Plug Antonio Crow Clothing.
Antonio Crow Clothing. It's all about the crow. Yeah, no doubt. Well, we definitely, would like to see what happens with the transition as we close out 2020. Speaking of 2020 and Verzuz, we got to talk about the big heavyweight matchup. And as a boxing fan, that was a big deal. Char, go ahead.
I was gonna say that Verzuz was the one spot that Stacey Abrams could have stayed out of.
That was a struggle. When I turned it on, I'm like, yo, is her internet tripping or is she just struggling to get the words out?
Ooh, she got spectrum.
She felt crickets. She felt crickets. That's what that was, because Gucci was like, what? And Jeezy was like, yeah, okay, I'm with you. But Gucci was like, what? But I like that she said that she had a brother in the system, and she was basically there celebrating young men from the hood doing something good. So I was appreciative of her being there in a sense.
That was cool. But prior to that statement, it was a struggle. I'm like, yo, because Kamala Harris was appearance on Brandy and Monica's Verzuz, which was dope.
Right. Okay. I felt like that was appropriate.
Right. But popping up, I'm like, whoa, hold up, what's going on here? And then the last part was dope though. Like you said, Antonio, that was cool. The incarceration, we all have family members or know someone who's in the system. But prior to that, it was like I was like,
oh. Yeah, they should have had like Farrakhan or somebody like.
Right. Because Gucci was not feeling it. He was like, "Can you delete my record? Like, why are you here?"
If Farrakhan would have appeared on that and blessed that, oh my gosh, that would have been like worthy of an intro on an album.
Oh right. Yeah. Right. Oh yeah. Oh, that would have been who? Swiss needs to hire us.
Right.
Hey, Swiss, Timberland, holla at us. Convo Lounge, holla at us. Right. Holla at us. We got ideas and plans for the next Verzuz. Y'all need to go ahead and put Busta and Missy together too, not Busta and
Sure. For sure.
Well, let's stay on this. Let's stay on this Verzuz again though, a little bit, because I was confused at first because Jeezy was very humble, very music, cultural music enthused, but Gucci is like he had a vendetta against against Jeezy, and all of his songs were diss records. So then I wasn't really watching it at first, but I was looking at people's comments, like, you know, they were posting on Facebook, like did Gucci just diss Jeezy? I was like, what? And so then I listened and I watched. And so I guess there have been a lot of interviews after, right? But then what other upset me is that they got a song together. So what's really going on? Like, I was confused, right? So here's some street code activities that took place in the last 15 years that they don't really want to talk to us about, the public. And Jeezy seems to just be taking it to the chin. And Gucci just took that opportunity to keep rubbing it in. So, you know, I wanna applaud Jeezy for being a bigger man on the show.
For sure.
Right? Because, you know, and then it was even written, I think Swiss B said that a couple of black bloggers posted, you know, that they posted it, you know, that they had a versus. But if it had been some violence, it would have been all over the internet.
Oh yeah. I was nervous. That versus was way more. I thought Brandy and Monica had tension in their verses, and Brandy was trying to, you know, make it seem like all was well, and Monica was like, "No, sis, no, yeah. I'll slap you again." But Jeezy and Gucci, I had to smudge my apartment with sage. Like that energy was so tense. I was like praying over my TV screen because they brought that tension. I was nervous. I was very nervous.
Yeah.
At one point, I thought Gucci's mic was a gun. I was like, "Oh God, it's about to go down." But
nah, it was lit. My boys was hitting me up. Shout out to all my boys, but they was hitting me up, and I was like, "Yo, man, this is like straight out of a page out of Vince McMahon's book on WWE." Like it was like some Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, like going at it in the ring. It was like Ali and Liston, or Ali and Frazier, rather. It was like you had two dudes, and like he was really coming at him. Then Jeezy was like, "Listen, man, like he had to be the grown man about it." But I think, like I said, WWE, because WWE is stage fighting, right? That whole thing was staged because they had a song that they did together at the end of it. And everybody was like, oh,
right.
I was like,
I don't feel like it was staged. I felt like that was genuine.
You know what I felt? I felt like when they booked the show, I felt like Gucci wrote a whole bunch of diss records. Because I ain't never heard them songs. Then all three of them songs was all directed, or four of them songs was directed at Jeezy.
No, he was coming at him with some hits. But my favorite part was when he's like, "Man, look what I got on, man. I got on my jacket 10,000." But what's cool was that there was, if I'm not mistaken, Jeezy had a bounty on Gucci back in the day.
That's what I heard.
Exactly.
And that's why Gucci was clowning.
Yeah,
it was like a real deal. And they happened to be in Magic City, the you know, world, you know, the renowned Magic City. I happened to had a chance to go to Magic City. Magic City is the bomb. But I mean, here's the thing. Who won? Hip hop won. Black men won. There was a community of healing, and you had to, like what Jeezy said. He shouted out some of the young brothers who are no longer with us that were in the rap game. You know, Pop Smoke and, you know, a lot of other young brothers that we lost. So I thought that was dope, and you got a chance to see the maturation.
Yes.
Of Jeezy.
Yes.
You got to see
of Jeezy,
and then Gucci, you know, he's gonna be Gucci.
Yeah.
He did mention, you know, the thanks for extending the olive branch.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I ain't never heard that shit in a long time. I heard that.
Well, no, it was a dope truce. It was, you know, what they used to do back in the day when they used to have those duels with the gun behind their back, and you would take 10 steps and then boom, like they went.
It was a shootout. It was a shootout for real, lyrical.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like this is what OGs across Black America need to be doing. It's calling the truth, because this is what the younger Black men are looking up to, like all the neighborhood beefs that's going on in every ghetto in America.
Right.
They're getting it from the old heads. So if the old heads don't lead by example, then they'll never stop killing each other. They have zero value over human life. It's crazy.
No doubt.
It's a level of self-hate.
No, it is. And
that nobody addresses. How do you kill somebody who looks like you?
Nah, I mean, we can go into the origins of where that derives from. That comes back to when we weren't enslaved in this country.
Yeah.
But I truly believe that particular moment, because you think about all the verses that are taking place with men of color, you had different genres of music. You had reggae, you've had other, hip hop and rap artists. And I think Jeezy even shouted out Jay-Z and Nas, like, could they have the same numbers? Because them two cats literally put primarily trap music in Atlanta on the map. Can you imagine?
Gucci especially.
Right. Can you imagine if a Jay-Z Nas, well, it will never happen, first of all. But if it were to happen, I mean, that's the impact that it had. But it was good to see two brothers, in their prime come together and hopefully hash beefs, But I want to give speedy recovery to our brother Boozy, though. Boozy. Yeah, he got shot. He got shot in the leg not too long ago, and there was actually a killing in Texas with an artist that he was, collaborating with, who was unfortunately killed. So we have to be mindful of this, that we can't be having brothers getting killed out here in these streets, and we gotta hopefully that versus was an example of what you are supposed to do versus what you are not supposed to do. So once again, shout out to Timbaland and Swizz Beats. Shout out to Jeezy and Gucci, and Swizz. Y'all need to holler at us. We got ideas.
For sure. I was talking to my colleague about this yesterday. He was saying Gucci is justified in wanting to maintain his level of having beef towards Jeezy because he put a hit on his life back in the day. And he's entitled to his own opinion. I think that we have to give people the room to change, evolve, and grow. So the same way Jeezy is sitting there saying, like, I am not the same man I was 15, 20 years ago. I don't have the same values. I've changed. I love you as a brother. He didn't say that, but like, we have to give people the space to evolve and it becomes something new and forgive the person they once was, opposed to holding them to who they were back in the day. That's crazy to me.
Well,
like, I think of all the dumb stuff I did in my lifetime, and if anybody still held me to that same Charlotte, that would be asinine. And all of the work I've done to improve myself, like, you still gonna hold me to that?
Yeah.
I ain't even thinking about killing you. I own half of Atlanta. I'm about to marry a whole Asian.
Oh God.
Like, come on.
You know what? Like, I mean, that's very big of you.
I'm not doing that.
Big of a situation. Everything is situational. I don't want to get like, I am not debating what you're saying, but in support of what you're saying. I think everything is situational, and it's unfortunate that it was about a death type situation. So, forgiveness is something that we all deal with long term. Mm-hmm. Some of us meet it face to face and some of us run from it. So
yeah. Shout out to Transformation Church, Pastor Mike Todd. He's doing a whole series on forgiveness. Check it out, y'all.
Dope.
All right.
We ain't gonna talk about LaMelo Ball real quick.
Go ahead.
Well, LaMelo Ball is going to the Charlotte, right? He's going to Charlotte, right?
Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, Charlotte Hornets. He's gonna wear number 2 or maybe number 1, because Lamar just asked, could he wear number 1? But that is Malik Monk's jersey.
Right.
Shout out to Malik Monk, because he's overcome some of the challenges that he had. So hopefully he can readjust to the NBA. But I just want to speak to the Ball family and the way they've been able to maneuver in a career of basketball, which that's all they know. The 3 brothers, that's all they know as kids. So Shout out, and maybe one day they'll end up on the same team. Y'all think that's possible?
Not in free agency, no. However, I'm gonna go ahead and add to what you just mentioned. We have to give LeVar Ball credit. No matter how crazy and asinine his antics have been, you got to give him credit for being a Black father, raising 3 Black boys, and getting those boys opportunities to be able to follow their dreams. And that's what's not highlighted a lot with a lot of Black athletes, and Black men in general, is highlighting the black man, the Black father, the head of the household. So, unfortunately, the antics of LeVar Ball eliminate that sometimes. I think he's been banned from ESPN for the comments that he made at Jalen Rose's wife, who hosts his first take, Molly Querim. But yeah, you check that. I won't have to put that in the show notes. But yeah, it was good to see, LaMelo represent. He's from Chino Hills, in the Inland Empire area, and to see not only him but also a few other brothers from Chino Hills get drafted in the NBA the other night. But it's going to be interesting because Michael Jordan does own the Charlotte Hornets, and LeVar had a moment where he could beat MJ one-on-one. And after watching
Negative
Jordan Last Dance, I'm pretty sure Jordan drafting his son, he took that personal.
Jordan just gonna laugh it off though.
Well, he probably had his cigar. He's like, go ahead and pick up that ball boy and tell his daddy to come meet me in Charlotte. And it's going to be it's going to be fun.
So tell Char why LeVar be talking too much in reference to Michael Jordan.
Well, he went on his stage, on his platform, and he felt the need that he can just say whatever. And it was all for entertainment, but he was saying, Michael Jordan, I could beat him one-on-one. Charles Barkley, I can beat him one-on-one. And, here's the thing, though. To LeVar Ball's point, the brother was an athlete at Cal State LA. He did play for the Carolina Panthers. He did play basketball at college, so he is an athlete. However, he is no way in the same tier or even get the atmosphere of Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, any. But it was just funny. So when Michael Jordan drafts his son, some got to say, like, hey, after watching The Last Dance, Michael Jordan is one that takes things personal. So maybe that was him taking a shot at LeVar Ball, like, all right, you think you can beat me one-on-one? I'm going to grab your son, and let's see what he got to bring to the table. So once again, all eyes is, me personally, I want to see them brothers win. I know we had LaMelo, which one was it? The one that played on the Lakers. We had him at one point. It didn't pan out, so it's gonna be interesting to see two brothers play against one another, and it's the first time in the NBA that two brothers were picked, and the first 5 picks in the first round of the draft. So once again, shout out to the Ball family. Big baller brand. No doubt. Thanksgiving is around the corner, y'all. We got a few more days for Thanksgiving. When the episodes drop, hopefully y'all is our fellow loungers. You still eating good, but what we eating?
Question, I thought Thanksgiving was canceled because of COVID. I thought COVID canceled Thanksgiving.
We can have a virtual Thanksgiving.
Okay, you're right.
I know for my family, we plan on hosting Thanksgiving. It won't be the usual because we usually have a flag football, turkey bowl type situation. Antonio comes out every year with his special drink of Hennessy and eggnog.
Sounds like my kind of party.
So Antonio will be in the bleachers, on a good one. Then in between a couple of plays, I'll get a swig real quick and then get back out there, But we've had 50 plus participants come out every year, and it's always a great turnout. And it's all shout out to my dad, Coach Woods. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loves being around Coach Woods, and my mom whips up caramel popcorn and all the fancy treats for the players. And it's always a beautiful turnout. And shout out to my city, Cerritos, for allowing us to have the football field every year. But unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we won't be doing it. But we do plan on having Thanksgiving. dinner. My mom made it very clear, y'all can't come in the house, so we're gonna be in the garage. So we ordered a portable heater. I'm gonna have my flat screen. We're gonna have the TV going with the football games, and we ordered a garage screen to put and to cover up the garage so we can just stay insulated and chill out in the garage. And then because of the stay-at-home orders, I gotta get my ass in the house before 10 p.m. So I definitely will be grubbing on my plate. Mac and cheese, homemade mac and cheese. Shout out to my mom and sis. My mom's caramel cake. My mom said, I'll make you a pecan pie this year. Usually she makes pecan bites, sweet potato pie. There will definitely be turkey for sure, smoked turkey. My brother-in-law and I are the ones that eat the ham, and my sister, so we'll have a small ham. Then, all the other things, the green beans, all the sides, the stuffing, and all the good stuff. It's going to be good times. I will definitely, and shout out to Martinelli's. You got to have Martinelli's for the holidays.
The apple cider?
Yes, primarily the pomegranate. The apple pomegranate.
I never had that one.
That's the bomb. But
are you spiking it with something harder?
You don't need to. You don't need to. It's bomb. It like Martinelli's is the official holiday beverage, no doubt. I mean, outside of the non-alcoholic beverages, but you can spike it with something. But me personally, I just drink it straight, and you put it in, pop that bottle, and you pour it in one of them little champagne flutes, and you're good. I will be bringing the Martinelli's in my Tupperware because I'm bringing plates back.
I just have to have three things during the holidays, and that's dressing or stuffing, whichever one you want to call it. Some macaroni and cheese and some candy yams. That's the only thing I look for on the holidays.
No doubt.
Mine, mac and cheese for sure. Gotta have the mac.
Right.
Greens, gotta have greens.
Right.
And I'm more of a ham person than the turkey. Like, y'all can miss me with the turkey, but I'll eat it if it's good. Like, I've had great smoked turkey, but I can do without it. I can really do without it.
Yeah.
All right, I got a question. So, turkey is the bomb. It can't be dry. You can't have no Martin. We got that Martin episode when they had turkey. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have a bomb smoke our deep fried turkey, first of all. And then if you do the ham, no doubt. Shout out to Honey Baked Ham, by the way. They had the bomb hams.
That's it. That's a plug.
Man.
Right. And you can never go wrong with a good prime rib on the holidays too.
I've never had prime rib on a holiday.
Yeah, prime rib is a good one.
I forgot. I don't really eat ham, but I forgot about the potato salad.
Potato salad on Thanksgiving, really, yeah, okay.
What was that movie? And it was like, who made the potato salad?
Mac and cheese. When that mac and cheese makes that sound, you know it's bomb. When it's making that, and you got the different cheeses and all the
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm usually in charge of the mac and cheese for my family's Thanksgiving.
Oh, send us a picture.
Yeah,
I got you. I don't know if I'm cooking. I don't know if I'm doing Thanksgiving this year, to be honest with y'all. Right. I'm not in the holiday spirit, so I'll see. But I got some pictures from last year that I can send y'all.
No doubt. Well, we definitely hope all of our fellow loungers enjoy their Thanksgiving with their loved ones and their family. And what are we grateful for? You know what I'm saying? What are we grateful for?
Yeah, to be honest, it's been a very tough 2020. As you guys know, I just celebrated my birthday. Don't want y'all to forget. So with that being said, like this birthday has been very special and sentimental to me because 2020 has been across the board, just like hard for the United States of anxiety. It's no longer the United States of America, but the United States of anxiety and the world. Like globally, it's been a very tough year, but God's been good. I'm just happy to be alive. I'm happy to be happy, and I'm thankful for life. Like keeping it simple. I'm just thankful for peace of mind. Like that's priceless.
Right. And that just reminds me of my mom, what my mom used to say. She's grateful for everything and a portion of health and strength. So I'm very thankful for my portion of health and strength, mentally and physically. And yeah, I'm thankful for the Convo Lounge, and just thankful for my art and my creativity. So yeah, I mean, I got a long ass list, but yeah,
Right.
2020 has been a challenge. I can't even speak to. So much has happened that, some on everything, and just thanks for the desire to continue. You know what I'm saying? So that's it.
That's good.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Antonio. I'm gonna echo everything that y'all just said. It's been a year of, a lot, and we don't have to go down the list of different things. We are seeing what's been unfolded and what's been played out. So I just think that this year has been a year of healing and listening and being, like my dad always says, watch and pray. And that's what
Yeah.
we have to live by that code. I'm thankful for health. I'm thankful for being employed in an area that I love being a part of. I'm thankful for y'all too and joining on this journey to have a platform to speak to people and to enjoy this. We plan on doing more as we close out the year. So I'm thankful for the Convo Lounge. I'm thankful for y'all. I love y'all. I'm thankful for family. I'm thankful for friends. I'm just thankful for a lot. And there is no room in my living body that we have a privilege to have to make any complaints, no matter what happens, and sometimes I have to fall back and say, hey, forgive me for being ungrateful for having this living body and walking. So it's a privilege to have this, and it's definitely a privilege to have this platform as well. So I'm definitely grateful for that. But yeah, it's up to y'all if y'all want to talk about this. But I know Char, you representing self-love right now, and you got the continent of Mother Africa on there. So Black Friday, the chaos that comes along with it. I know you mentioned in our production meeting, we need to buy black and not
Yeah.
just, I forgot what month it was this year, but it was like Black Business Tuesday or something like that happened. But just like Black History Month, Black History is 365 days a year, no matter what they tell you. So buying black, Char, I'm gonna give it to you. What businesses are out there you want to shout out?
Yeah, for sure. So I first want to shout out the Shed Detroit. Like, this is one of the sweaters that I've got. I also got a dope sweater for my boss for his birthday from there. So definitely check them out. We'll put the link in the show notes. I'm going to shout out my homegirl on Instagram at Pepper Anderson, because every Friday she does a Black Friday review where she'll shout out any Black clothing that she's wearing, any Black designers, any Black business owners, and then also Black chefs that deliver locally. It slipped my mind. Antonio Crow Clothing. Want to shout out Antonio Crow Clothing. Yeah. Char's Cookie Jar, of course. A lot of my custom stuff is made from at Boss Bags on Instagram. You can order through him. Just DM him in his business acumen. It's simple. He's professional, and you'll get your stuff fast, and the quality is amazing. I have sweatshirts from him that I've had for years that I've washed, dried, whatever, and the quality is dope. So definitely check my man out. He's also a Scorpio. Shout out to Scorpios. Gosh, there's so many, but I'll just add them in the show notes because I didn't have time to formulate them all. But definitely follow my girl who's highlighting Black businesses every Friday. Every Friday is Black Friday. So I'll say for me, if I do shop, which I probably won't because I'm on a budget, if I do shop, it's only going to be from Black owned businesses.
No doubt.
Let's go. I got one, or actually one. I just want to shout out my boy, Derek Russell. He has Elaine's Bread Puddings. And he got the idea because of his mom. If I can tell the story correctly, his mom would make bread puddings. And so he came up with a couple recipes. He's killing the game with the bread puddings, doing pop-ups. He's doing, COVID. Well, in between COVID and our issues, he's out there sharing his bread puddings. And personally, I'm gonna be giving out text messages for Christmas because it's COVID. So look out for that text.
Well, you make sure you got some dope emojis in there too, brother.
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and shout out and echo what you guys said. I mean, first of all, the Convo Lounge. You know, we have merch. We got merch coming by way of Antonio Crow Clothing. So shout out to Antonio Crow and your brand, brother. I appreciate it. And then also Char's Cookie Jar. Support that by any means. My favorite is that pecan turtle. I love that turtle, and she actually had the chance to send a few. So, you know, definitely check that out. And I'm gonna say my mom's. My mom's actually does make, you know, baked goods like Char does, and you know, I will definitely, you know, find a way to build her brand as well in the foreseeable future. But yeah, I agree. I think that Black Friday, that chaos, and I hope, you know, in previous years, all that's taken place, you know, we have online shopping as an option now. But yeah, I mean, with everything going on right now, buying anything, and to your point, Char, being on a budget, that's my focus. I mean, we don't know what next year can hold. We may go into a recession, we may not, but you always want to have a backup plan and keep some money in your pocket and keep some cash. Cash is king. In the words of my man Randy Moss, straight cash, homie.
Oh, I also want to plug the Nile List, www.nilelist.com. My girl Khadijah has an entire website dedicated to Black-owned business owners. So, head to her website. There's anything you can think of: fashion, art, food, you name it, it's on there. Body butters, like all Black-owned. So, shout out to the Nile List.
Oh, real quick. By the way, Khadijah, I love that name. That will be my future daughter's name one day. My boy Jonah, he is an artist based out of Houston, and he actually attended a program at my institution. Shout out to Jonah Elijah. I'm gonna put his name in the notes. He actually has a clothing brand, and he actually did a mural in dedication to George Floyd. Rest in power. He actually is from the Third Ward area, similar to George Floyd. And Jonah Elijah's work was highlighted. He's a MFA grad, a class of 2020, and his art gallery is dope. And it has a lot to do with Afro-centric and the whole African diaspora. And it is really powerful art. So I definitely will be mindful to drop that in the show notes. So shout out to my boy Jonah Elijah. Sound off. Y'all want to sound off or anything? Are we good? What y'all got to sound off on real quick?
Yeah, my only sound off is Buy Black. That's all I got. That and just being grateful to be alive and thankful for all of the birthday love. I felt it like my cup runneth over. Thank y'all so much.
My sound off is unity. We need more unity.
Amen.
Yeah.
My sound off is my Lakers. Y'all did it. Y'all did it. You guys picked up some great acquisitions over the last few days with Montrezl Harrell and Dennis Schroeder. Yeah. So shout out to people doing their thing. And then my sound off also to add on there is I'm just blessed. You know, every morning I wake up, I'm just blessed to breathe this air and to walk around and be able to call my parents. You know, people have lost a lot of loved ones during this pandemic. So unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of people across the country, across the globe, that, you know, their family traditions have been broken due to COVID and broken due to the fact that certain people in their family are no longer with them. I've happened to lose, you know, my uncle a couple of weeks ago, and that hurt me. So, you know, I just want to say, you know, when you have loved ones, you know, make sure that you cherish them in the moments that you have. And if you can't see them, use the technology that's out there, whether it's FaceTime or Zoom or any other, you know, platform that you have. So that's my sound off.
I got a sound off for B. Sorry. Shout out to the Pittsburgh Steelers. 9-0.
Mike Tomlin, Black coach. Y'all Pittsburgh, the ownership, first of all, real quick to your point, Antonio, the Rooney Rule, which was created to hire and focus on minority opportunities for primarily coaches and Black men, was created by the owners of the Pittsburgh Steelers, what happens to be the Rooney family. So Mike Tomlin, I'm always rooting for anybody that's in a Black position of leadership. And I'm hoping that Mike Tomlin can take those Pittsburgh Steelers to the Super Bowl, and he keeps that opportunity to stay employed. But just real quick, we're gonna close out. Y'all know where to follow us. We got merch coming on the way from Antonio Crow's Clothing. Be on the lookout for that. You can follow us on our website. You can check us out on all streaming platforms. We're on a lot of them, primarily Apple and Spotify. Also, we have our Patreon account to support us as well. So to the Buy Black, check us out on Patreon. You can follow me at the Prosperous One, the Prosperous One, the _ Prosperous _1, and also at the Convo Lounge. You can follow us as well. And Char and Antonio, I'll let you guys.
You can follow me at char.rochelle or at Char's Cookie Jar.
Antonio Crow Clothing, and here on the Convo Lounge. Hit me up.
All right, y'all. Y'all be blessed. Enjoy your holiday, and we will be with you soon. Stay blessed, y'all. Peace.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.